Governor Hochul and the mayor unveil a new fast bus action plan.
It includes rapid transit bus lanes, more cameras to ticket vehicles blocking those lanes, and better bus stops.
Wait a second, I thought buses in New York were supposed to be free, but that doesn't sound like the plan at all. Instead, the mayor has a new scheme to spend tens of millions renovating bus stations and installing traffic lights while cutting bus service to make it faster. But they won't be free buses, oh no, because these are going to be funded with an army of AI cameras to find drivers with the help of Big Brother. And while the improvements from all this are years away in the future, those taxation cameras are here right now.
Blink and you might miss them. On the windshields of hundreds of MTA buses, mounted cameras are now searching for vehicles blocking the bus lane. The cameras are powered by artificial intelligence, but driver George Hahn says the AI system isn't smart enough.
Mayor Mamdani, Governor Hochul, and MTA Chair Janno Lieber announcing a plan to improve bus service. They identified 50 corridors for improvements, including 5 rapid transit routes that will save 6 minutes.
Hahn says last month he got 3 violations on the same day for blocking bus lanes, but in each case, the videos captured by the bus cameras themselves show he was legally parked.
If you make the bus 3 minutes fast, then you got to walk 5 minutes more to the bus. Your trip takes longer.
Alan Rosen is a former transit bus planner. He wants to see better management of the routes.
Change the routes to fill service gaps. They need to expand service rather than the cuts they're proposing in the redesign.
My commitment is to make buses fast and free. Today, we stand together on how we deliver the fast.
It's not working. You got it. You got it. You got it, Mom.
So oddly, all this new stuff is going to cost $800 million, but that's exactly what the city loses every year to people who steal from the bus by riding it for free, which reveals that these communists, they have the math for their free buses, which would be a disaster, but they're wasting so much money, they can't even deliver on that. And the reason for that is, you see, the communists, they love big promises like free food and free buses and free apartments, but they love grand visual accomplishments even more, which is why they need to renovate bus stations for just shy of $1 billion, which will give them something shiny to point at, which proves in their minds that they've accomplished something. But this plan got a bunch of problems. You see, it's going to eliminate the bus stations they decide not to renovate, and it's going to do this while punishing every car on the road with ticketing cameras just so criminals and thugs can keep stealing from the city, revealing that the thought of using the money generated by our failing public transit networks to fix those failing public transit networks isn't on the table. Which means the mayor, in a way, kept his promise. If you're a criminal, you're going to get to ride the bus for free. You always have. But if you're the law-abiding, nope. But it gets even worse because this is happening 2 years after the city rolled out another set of AI cameras to tax you for driving on the road. Oh yes. And now we've got the AI cameras on the buses to give you tickets if you're on the wrong part of the road you just paid to drive on. But that's not all, because while they're eliminating the bus stations they don't plan to renovate, some people's commutes are gonna get longer because the only way the buses get faster is if they make less stops. Yet this time savings gimmick is meant to justify the spending of almost $1 billion. But that brings us to the real reason, this new bus plan for fast buses, which may be free later at some point when we don't know. This is not a solution. In fact, it's a handout to criminals at all levels, not just the criminals on the bus, but those who've been well connected enough to get to renovate them and fix them up. None of this nonsense. And this showboating addresses the reasons people wanted buses to be free in the first place. First of all, they're dangerous and unreliable. Sometimes you wait forever just to get on a bus that never shows up, and when it does, who's on it? The wrong people who want to commit crime. But this is all an excuse to turn every single bus on the road into a money-generating cash register that roams the streets looking for someone to punish, which isn't gonna speed up traffic. After all, the cameras we already have haven't done that. And the most ironic thing about all this is if you want to ride the bus today and you want to pay for it, it actually costs more than it did before the mayor got into office.
This is interesting. Ever since Mamdani became the mayor,
MTA cops have been hammering fare evaders.
Yep.
So this is what's been happening. I mean, I've been seeing this. MTA cops are looking for fare evaders, but I thought the buses were supposed to be for free.
Oh, I guess not. I guess they're not.
I don't think buses are going to be free anytime soon.
Dude, they got
I
a
think
ticket
the city
operation.
is trying to make as much money right now on fare evasion.
Right.
So it is what it is.
And they're doing it while blaming all of this on mayors that showed up before. Oh, it's not Mamdani's fault they're ticketing people. It's not his fault he told the few police that haven't quit the force yet that they need to go over to the buses and start writing people tickets, which is the opposite of free. But the truth is, this proves the socialism we already have has already run out of everyone's money, so they need more of it fast. Which explains why we've got this armada of cameras that are coming to even more buses. Oh yeah, these things are gonna roam the streets, dishing out fines. If you're on the street, these things are looking for you, which means this is communism at its finest. Redistribution from those who have something to those who are supposed to get everything for free. And our leaders aren't exactly hiding it. Watch.
By 2030, B41 bus riders will see these bus boarding islands along the length of Flatbush Avenue, the first of 5 rapid bus transit routes where buses are physically separated from cars and just one part of the bus action plan. It aims to improve speeds by 20%, improve the overall customer experience, increase bus lane enforcement, and expand access to transit.
In New York City, time is money. And we are going to give New Yorkers some of that time back. 6 minutes.
Unless those New Yorkers happen to be driving a car. You see, this belief that time is money and it's very important and we need to give it back to you during an affordability crisis so you can get to work or go about your day or do whatever, that all flies out the window if you want to take matters into your own hands with a car. You see, they don't want you to have personal transportation. They do not like that. The communists want everybody riding the bus, which is why if you're in a car, things have just gotten progressively worse for you over the years. They've deleted roads, they've made them smaller, they've put these ludicrous bike lanes all over the place, they've created traffic congestion, and now they're taxing everybody for being in a car, and now they want you to get on a bus, which could be dangerous, which may never even show up, and they're telling you you're gonna get 6 minutes back. But where did they get this 6 minutes number? Is it even a real number? Is it something people will actually experience, or is this part of the scam? Well, this article that talks about the AI cameras has something to say about that, and it says the 6 minute promise falls apart the moment you look at how far most people ride the bus. They're saying that bus lanes will save you up to 6 minutes. That means if you travel the entire bus route, which is 8 miles, which nobody does, you save 6 minutes. The average trip is 2.3 miles, so most people aren't gonna save any time at all, especially if the bus is delayed, if it doesn't show up, if they ran out of money and they have to run less buses, if the person doesn't come to work who's supposed to drive the bus. I mean, all of these things impact the service that you're gonna get. And the crazy thing is, this savings only happens because they're eliminating the number of stops the bus actually makes. So if the bus stops less frequently, yeah, it'll get a few minutes back, but what about the people who took those stops?
And automated cameras that ticket drivers in bus lanes.
If you make the buses 3 minutes faster and you got to walk 5 minutes more to the bus, your trip takes longer.
Alan Rosen is a former transit bus planner. He wants to see better management of the routes.
Change the routes to fill service gaps. They need to expand service rather than the cuts they're proposing in the redesign.
Oh, cuts!
Other promises: install 300 new bus shelters by...
New bus shelters, cuts, service disruptions. None of this is about improving people's lives at all. If the bus stops less frequently and you are elderly or challenged in a mobility sense, you getting on the bus, that could take a lot longer. That could make your life much harder, much less affordable. But that's not what this is about at all. This is about statistics and accomplishments that the communists can point to and say, see, I got everyone else's money and I spent it on that thing right there.
Of the least when it comes to our policy conversations.
Back along Northern Boulevard, Mary has time to talk. We checked the app and the bus was 10 minutes and 30 minutes away.
Wow.
I've been running this bus for over 3-4 years now, and it's always been an issue. They're very delayed.
Describe how long you usually wait.
Sometimes it's 15.
City Hall says the new initiative, with cooperation from the MTA and state, creates 50 priority corridors in...
Right, so because the buses are poorly run, People are waiting half an hour in some cases for the next bus if they miss a bus. People are sitting at these stations all day, and we're supposed to think that the same people who are running the buses and are mismanaging them are going to get a boatload of other people's money, redo all the roads, tear everything up, create congestion nightmares on the roads while they build these bus corridors, and that things are going to magically improve. I mean, that is the dumbest thing you could possibly think, that because the same people that run the buses also run the subway. And they keep promising us with the subway every year, oh, we're going to get service. It's going to be faster. We're going to do signal improvements. We're going to speed things up. We're going to modernize. That never happens. Every single promise that is made with public transit as the reason for that promise, it's all a scam. It's all a grift. It never works. And it's the commuters that pay the price. Increased enforcement, people stealing to get on these buses, stealing to get on the subway, committing crime while they're down there, making it dangerous for everybody. If they would just jail the fare evaders, they wouldn't have to have an army of police out in front of these buses, ticketing people, checking IDs, slowing everything down. That'll get you back 6 minutes. Put the criminals in jail. Then we don't have to do anything. And deep down, every single rider in this city knows exactly what's going to happen next.
New Yorkers, some of that time back. 6 minutes, to be precise.
There will be 50 bus priority corridors, more signals that allow buses to jump ahead of other traffic, and more automated camera and human enforcement to keep bus lanes clear. Riders waiting for a very slow B41 were hopeful the plan can deliver.
I hope so. I'm someone that's like, we'll have to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, because the same people are still going to drive the buses, are still going to run the buses, are still going to manage the routes. The city that runs the subways and the buses, they get $21 billion a year to do it, and it's already this bad. What are they going to do with a little extra money from some AI ticketing cameras? The amount that they're going to get for these new projects is inconsequential, but they want to redesign everything so that they can, again, point at it and say, look, I did that. That's me. I did that right there. I've delivered. I made a promise. I kept it, even though nothing changed. All of it is being wasted, which shows that fraud, it's not just the people that are stealing from the bus and the subway. It's the people in the government that are lying about what they're actually going to accomplish, where they're not going to accomplish anything. But they're telling us this time, it's different. Here's why.
The plan sets clear timeframes to accomplish goals not just on speed, but installing 300 bus shelters and universal bus stop seating by 2035. The MTA already planned to order 2,500 new buses.
You're not going to get off the bus. You're going to want to go the next stop. It's going to be so great.
Officials say, yes, there have been other plans, but this one is different.
Accountability. We're putting out a report today that has specific goals and...
So this is the chairman of the MTA, and he's been running this agency for several years, and now there's going to be accountability. An agency that gets $21 billion a year is now finally going to be accountable for where this money gets spent, because we didn't have that in the past, which is how we got here. But going forward, everything's going to be just fine. I mean, are we really supposed to believe this? The system, its feature is that it wastes everyone's money. Its feature is that it is a perpetual excuse for why more of everyone's money needs to be taken away from them. That's how it's been for decades. There's no plan to change any of that. And every single year, the politicians and the bureaucrats, they get out there and they pump their chests about how they're delivering for the people, yet nothing changes. People are waiting at the bus. The subway's rotting and falling apart. And now the communists are going to come in and hold themselves accountable. Think about that for a second. They're going to take everyone's money, and they've got their own time frame for how they promise they're going to spend it, and they're going to hold themselves accountable for that. Do you believe that? Communist accountability, first time in world history here, folks.
How are we going to address the choke points on a daily basis that develop? That level of accountability and responsiveness is not always observed in government.
The plan actually comes with resources and the targets to deliver on it. DOT has a historic budget to do bus improvements. Over $900 million of capital and expense funding over the next 5 years.
But there are many who wonder, what about the free buses?
Oh, yeah, the free buses. But you see, before we get to that, understand that everything you just heard is what they say about public transit in New York every single year. We've got a historic budget. It's even bigger than last year. We're going to accomplish so much more. A bright future of amazing world-class public transit is just around the corner for everybody who lives in New York, except it's not. Except everybody knows that's a lie. Except everybody knows the budget grows every single year and things down in the subway or on the bus just get worse. But that's why people want the buses to be free. You see, they've created a system that's so bad, people are begging for communism to fix it because they don't see any reason to pay for it. The only thing they don't understand is that once these buses are free, there's not going to be any bus because the money's going to run out for the free buses because they have to steal it from people. And once it's gone, there's not going to be any money to put a driver on that bus, to repair that bus, to buy the new bus when the old bus breaks down. And then, oh, what? These buses are all electric? That's what we find out now. They're going to buy 2,500 electric buses. Good luck turning your AC on in the summer in New York if they got 2,500 electric buses draining the power grid.
Who wonder, what about the free buses? The mayor says it will come.
I've been very clear with the voters that my commitment is to make buses fast and free. Today, we stand together on how we deliver the fast.
Of course, the drive.
Oh, so we're going to make them fast today, and everyone's going to pay more money for them to be fast today, and we'll get around to making them free. We're committed to that lofty expectation, that campaign promise, but in order to make them free, we got to make them fast. In order to make them fast, we need more of everyone else's money. Don't you see how convenient this is? Meanwhile, nobody wants to tackle the real reason bus service in New York is such a disaster. They've destroyed the roads in this city. They've created so much traffic congestion by taking roads that used to have 5 lanes and knocking them down to 2 lanes, plus a bus lane, plus a bike lane, plus parking, plus a green space. The traffic can't even get down the street. So if you're gonna destroy the infrastructure that the bus drives on, don't be shocked when it slows down and when it stops working and when it becomes repulsive and useless and totally unpredictable. You know, if you've got skinny little roads, even a minor traffic jam miles away from where the bus stop is, that could slow down everyone's commute for the entire morning. It's like people redesigned everything because what their goal was a few years ago, if you remember, was to get the taxation cameras for the cars, this congestion pricing. They wanted that so bad. So what did they have to do? They needed statistics that proved that they needed AI cameras to tax every single car on the road. So they redesigned all the roads. They created massive traffic congestion and they had their statistics and they rolled out their cameras and they put them in place. And it survived the Trump administration's threats to shut it all down. And there it is. And they said that those cameras were going to fix public transit in New York. They said that once those cameras were up and every car on the road got taxed, we were going to have amazing public transit. We were going to have buses that were great, a subway that was great, and those were all the promises everybody in New York just heard related to public transit. But where are they? Why is no one out there bragging about the congestion pricing? You know why? Because it's delivering a whole bunch of money, and that money is going right out the window. They need more of it. But there's actually a way the city could fix its entire transportation problem overnight if it wanted to. Now, I'm against this idea of universal public transit for obvious reasons because it's a big scam, but I'm not against the idea of mass transit. In fact, over by the Intrepid Museum, where this massive homeless encampment is growing, you have the solution to New York City's transportation problem because this is where they keep all of the buses that go into the bus terminal and bring people across the country. Well, when they're not in use, they park them on the streets over here. So you have an army of buses that aren't being used for anything. And if people are waiting for the bus and the next bus is a half an hour away, well, you could drastically speed that up if you would let some of these buses also be driven in the bus lanes. Like, what if a coach bus or a Greyhound bus could be driven and operated on the public bus lanes and be used to pick people up? What if they could sell tickets and seats on their own buses? That would work. That would speed up transportation, and the buses already exist. But you see, the problem with that is then you would have private industry competing with the communists. And we all know who's going to win that battle. Everyone's going to love the private buses. No one's going to be getting on the city's electric buses if they even show up. This would be a massive disaster. It would fix the problem, but then the communists wouldn't have their grand accomplishment. They wouldn't be able to say that we delivered for New York and we need more of your money so we can keep delivering for New York. You see, we have common sense solutions that are at our fingertips in New York, but nobody wants them because it would deliver a win to the groups that are supposed to be the problem. Right now you got somebody making a profit on mass transit, which is bad news for the communists, man. Profit? No way. If you're a landlord, if you're a grocery store, can't have any of that. What do you think about this? I'll see you in the next video.